Welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. This morning we're watching and reacting to Minnesota Vikings at Pittsburgh Steelers, the NFL 2025 Dublin game. They are in Dublin, Ireland. That's why they're playing so early. Croke Park, where Gaelic football is played. They're playing an American football game, an NFL game to start your Sunday of week 4. Of course, we had Seattle beating Arizona on Thursday night to start week 4. But Pittsburgh Steelers wearing their black and gold, black jerseys, yellow pants, gold pants. The Minnesota Vikings wearing white and purple today. We're going to have some fun with this one. We'll review this game once it's over. Then I'll watch the Jays play. That ain't something I'm covering. I could have, but we'll save it for the playoffs. Either way, we will save it for the playoffs. With that being said, Aaron Rodgers starting against the NFC North team. Feeling right at home, I'm pretty damn sure. Aaron Rodgers, the former Green Bay Packer quarterback, could have played for the Minnesota Vikings. He did have talks with Kevin O'Connell in the offseason, but he chose to sign for the Steelers and coach Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin trying to, I don't know about save his career, but definitely trying to actually win a playoff game for once. He finally has the quarterback. The defense sucks now. The sad part for the Steelers, Mike Tomlin finally has the quarterback for the first time in what? A decade? Nearly a decade? About 8 years? Yeah, the defense sucks now. Especially with Joey Porter Jr. out, Deshaun Elliott being hobbled. Some really big pieces on that defense is hobbled now. We'll see how that goes as time goes on. But Carson Wentz, first quarterback since 1950 to start for 6 different teams in 6 straight seasons. Of course, J.J. McCarthy is injured. Carson Wentz starting for the Vikings over J.J. McCarthy due to J.J. McCarthy's injury. J.J. McCarthy had a really good start to the season. Carson Wentz had a good game last week because the Cincinnati Bengals did not have Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was crocked. Turf toe. Jake Browning ain't that guy. Speaking of NFC North teams playing AFC North teams, he ain't that guy, pal. He ain't that guy. Anthems being played. They have an Irish flag, so I guess they'll play the Irish anthem as well. It's the American anthem. I love seeing a game in Ireland. Gotta say. But Minnesota Vikings versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have a game. We'll watch it. We'll review it once it's over. Pittsburgh. One of these teams will go 3-1, I should say, at the end of the day. One of these two teams will be 3-1. Or I guess they could both have a tie to their name, possibly. But, you know, you would think we're going to see a team be 3-1 out of these two. Will be the Minnesota Vikings, who McCarthy went 1-1, but the Vikings didn't seem to miss a beat last week. Let's see if that's just the Bengals being totally crap or if the Steelers are just that bad too. I think the game will be closer. If the Steelers are to lose, the game will be closer because Aaron Rodgers. But, you know, it's better than Jake Browning. Then again, the Steelers did lose to the Seattle Seahawks. So do with that what you will. Do with that what you will. The Steelers beat the Patriots and the Jets. They've beaten 2 AFC East opponents, they lost to an NFC West opponent, that being the Seattle Seahawks at home, no less. Now they're playing in Ireland, playing a NFC North opponent. About to play the Irish anthem during the game. But again, we have 4 quarters of football to cover, and then we'll review it. And then Monday, I'll do my MLB playoff predictions. So, because there's one day in between game 162 and the wild card. The Blue Jays will play something. Where they start playing on Tuesday or Saturday is yet to be determined. That will be determined today, though. But we won't be talking about that together. As you can see, I'm really interested in how that Jays game goes. But I'm also very interested to see how the Steelers game goes. And I'm doing it because I'm up early already. There's no F1 drive, no F1 Grand Prix today. And, well, Ireland's a beautiful country. I'm glad the Steelers are playing there, but I have a beautiful reason to care. So, I have a beautiful reason to care. So, let's do that. With that being said, we will begin. Steelers in Ireland. The Rooney family is very happy about this one, and I am too. Then the Minnesota Vikings will play next week against Cleveland at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Not that I care about that one. Nope. No, you ain't. Bot, take your ass. With that being said, Jalen Moore and Joey Porter Jr. and Highsmith all out, inactive for the Steelers. Losing 2 big defensive pieces and a player of high quality on the offense. Kenneth Gainwell, of course, will replace Jalen Moore, and today is the main running back. Of course, they have a new dynamic kickoff. Wait, is DK Metcalf? No. I was like, no, he wears 4. I was thinking about his Seahawks number. Either way. And the Vikings will kick it off. Reichard sends it to the landing zone, and it will be returned by the Pittsburgh Steelers. They hold on to the 35-yard line. A return to the 35 by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we begin in Dublin. Aaron Rodgers against the Vikings. He's thrown 247 yards per game against them. 59 touchdowns, 11 picks. 30 starts against the Vikings for Aaron Rodgers. 30th start. Yeah, DK wears 4, not 14. I was thinking of his Seahawks number. Gainwell. Okay, yeah, there we go. Kenneth Gainwell was the one who was back there as well for the return. Didn't get it, though. Aaron Rodgers. They get through, and Aaron Rodgers gets sacked. A start. The first play is a sack. Redmond brings him down. Blows past the offensive line. What the hell was that? Man, Steelers, come on now. just open sesame. They just parted, and that was an easy sack. Aaron Rodgers could do nothing about that one, understandably so. He can't run. He was a sitting duck. 2nd and 18. Horrible start. Steelers, Aaron Rodgers throws short. Gainwell gains back to the original line. 3rd down. He gained well, but still wasn't that good, wasn't it? Not all that he needed, I can tell you that right now. Gainwell, Metcalf, Austin, Smith, Freiermuth, the backs and receivers. 13-41, 3rd and 12. They got to get a play to flip the field or to move the chains. 5 seconds left on the play clock. They snap it. Aaron Rodgers gets through, throws short, and throws to Jonnu. And really, they could have just thrown an arm punt right there. Fine. 13-18. 4th and 13. The Steelers will punt. Horrible first drive from the Pittsburgh Steelers. You can't let the Vikings get out to an early lead. You can't do that. It's not something you could do. You do that, you're in trouble. Ask the Bengals. And there's the punt. It'll be caught at just away from the 15, but there will be a return. And there's a hit about the 15. 1st and 10. Carson Wentz to take his first snaps of the game. 14 for 20 last week, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns to 0 picks. This ain't the first time Kevin O'Connell's taken a crap quarterback and made him a good quarterback. He did it all last year. So, and I'd say Wentz was worse off when he started for 6 different teams in 6 straight years. So that tells you. Sam Darnold, I think I don't know. Besides the Super Bowl year for the Eagles, Carson Wentz has been a problem. And not a good one. Can Kevin O'Connell make him a good problem? Is what I'm saying. Carson Wentz, 2nd and 6. Under center. Takes the snap. Hands it off. And that's going to be a 1st down for Addison. Easy as you like. Steelers offense. Or Mason. Jordan Mason, I should say. Darius Slay pushed him out. Hail State, Darius Slay. How we doing, Daniel? I know it's early. I actually woke up earlier than you. That's rare. In the shotgun, Carson Wentz. Hands it off. Nope. Fake. Justin Jefferson gets tackled. It's going to be 2nd and 2. No surprises there. Justin Jefferson for a 9-yard. It's actually 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1 with 11:30 left in the first quarter. It doesn't look so bad. Man, Minnesota's making this look easy. Pittsburgh just don't got it. I'm sorry. They're making it look easy. Hands it off to Mason. Mason bounces past the line, and that'll be a 1st down at midfield for the Minnesota Vikings. Like, the sad thing about the Vikings is they could have a running, or I should say a backup quarterback starting, and you still have to be afraid of them. Because Kevin O'Connell makes shit quarterbacks look like freaking Pro Bowlers. But Sam Darnold is still good. Yeah, I'm sure he's not a dumbass. I didn't say that. I'm sure he kept remembering what Kevin O'Connell taught him. And Wentz throws it. Mason. Dude. Second down. A 3-yard run for Mason. That looked a lot worse on camera, I won't lie. The Vikings, 16.5 points per game in week 1 and 2. Oh, you're telling me that Wentz might be better than J.J. McCarthy. Oh, it's 2nd and 4. Yeah, that was more than 3 yards. Oh, no, it changed. Okay, a 6-yard pass. I ain't paying attention to that. Just this Mason guy. Holy shit, he's untouchable. Fumble! Steelers pick it up. Jalen Ramsey all the way back. Scoop and score. Touchdown Steelers. And Ramsey is pulled up limp. Oh, he faked it, you asshole. Jalen Ramsey. Scoop and score. Well, that's the way to get it. If they look like they're unstoppable, just punch the ball out and scoop and score. And they did. He was not down. That is a fumble. He was not down. Jalen Ramsey, scoop and score. Lovely. Sometimes you need breaks like that, especially if you're the Steelers. And don't act like you're injured, dude. Horrible. Man, the Vikings coughed that one up. And no, he did not touch the ground. That is not coming back. That's not coming back. Ball comes out before he goes down. Clark with a strip. Jalen Ramsey. Scoop and score. Pittsburgh leads. 51-yard fumble recovery for Jalen Ramsey. .934, Jalen Ramsey. So Minnesota will be back on offense very soon, but they will kick this extra point. Ball comes out first. Then Mason hits the ground. Ball picked up by the Steelers. There is no way this is overturnable. I don't know what you're trying to say. I guess it is overturned. Oh, he touched it. Nope, I guess it's overturned because he touched it. And his foot was out of bounds. And the Vikings still have the ball. Bullshit, man. Just because you touch the ball doesn't mean fumble out of bounds at 38 because his foot was out of bounds as he touched the ball. Horrible call. So the Vikings still have the ball. You got to be kidding me. You actually have to be kidding me. Like he was not going, his hand was on the ball. Yes. He wasn't holding it. There's a difference. His hand was like on the ball, but that's not called holding it. It was easily pick upable. So why are you telling me that's a fumble recovery? But his leg was out of bounds. That's some bullshit. And if the Vikings score a touchdown, if they win by 7. Throws, caught to the 20-yard line, Justin Jefferson. Bullshit. 9-14. Now I need to see. No. I need to see what people are saying about that. Let's see if people feel like that's bullshit too. First and 10. Down to second down. Second and 7. 8:20. Wentz. Good first drive from the Vikings so far. Steelers get robbed from that fumble recovery touchdown. Wentz throws it, caught. Jefferson, he's going to get the first. No. Flag on the play. Blown dead. That'll at worst, at best, be second, third and 1. At best be a third and 1. On the Vikings. Penalty on the Vikings. Penalty on the Vikings. Legal receiver downfield. 5-yard penalty, still second down. Illegal receiver downfield. So one of their linemen got downfield. Yep. Oh, well, yeah, no, that's a legal man downfield. Good job, Steelers. You left him all alone. Smart. Not that he even had a chance to catch it, but second and 12. You might have been smart. Sometimes selling out for the blitz, hey, that might have worked. Wentz in the shotgun. Empty set. Wentz throws. Caught. Gives himself up. Jefferson. Third down. Hold this to a field goal after all that bullshit. That's all I'm saying. Steelers defense seems not to bend. Or they're bending, but they ain't broken so far. They really got screwed on that call. Hold it to a field goal. 7:14 in the first quarter. The Vikings are taking a lot of time off the clock. Wentz. All alone, sacked! Wentz. Bodied by Patrick Queen. 6:57. Patrick Queen runs right at him. Be a field goal attempt. Be a field goal attempt for the Vikings. And Will Reichard, the former Georgia kicker. A field goal attempt, and it's good from Reichard. 3-0 Minnesota. Player down hurt for the Vikings. Fourth down. Will Reichard, 41-yard field goal. 41-yard field goal for Will Reichard. Was close, but he did score. So the Vikings have a 3-0 lead to start the game with 7 minutes left in the first quarter. But the kick is good. Good kick. Offensive lineman for the Vikings gets hurt after the kick. How we doing, Rory? How we doing? I got one of those NFL streaming bots for you. Be on the road again in a few minutes. Hey, you might as well. Hey, you might as well put in some headphones and watch this stream and at least follow the game that way, eh? Might as well. Going to Albuquerque. Nice. You know, I find it kind of cool. You know, I kind of find it cool you're making, as far as I can tell, you're making a road trip out of moving. That's kind of cool. That seems kind of cool, I won't lie. If we were moving far away, we would have just went straight down. Now it's just a couple of streets away, so it doesn't matter at all. But you know, now it's only a street or two away, really, so it doesn't matter at all. But if we were moving down anyway, either way, we would just went straight down. So yeah, making it a trip seems fun though. That's what I'm trying to say. Can't really make a couple of streets a trip. 8 hours though. Either way, 6:19. By the way, new studio very soon. So enjoy this. 1st and 10 for the Steelers. Can they do better on offense this time? Yeah. I think y'all got screwed. I think y'all got screwed horribly. Steelers. Let's have a better drive now. Rodgers flips it to Gainwell. Gainwell. Much better start. Nearly a first down. Let's see where they put him down. 2nd down and 1. I think he went down about a yard away. Gainwell with a beautiful, beautiful run there. Much better. Much better. Kenneth Gainwell. Definitely Gainwell there. I know. Dad joke, I know. 2nd and 1. I ain't even a dad yet, and I used a dad joke. I know. Short throw, caught. Austin, 1st down. 5:35 to go in the first quarter. But $5.23. 5:16 to go. 1st and 10. 5 minutes to go. 42-yard line. Rodgers, 5 seconds. Takes a snap, empty set, throw, and DK Metcalf gets the 1st down. Much better, Pittsburgh. Much better. They know they need 7 points because they got screwed. Much better. DK Metcalf open and catches it. Just open field run. Perfect. Rodgers is getting this ball out quick. Dude's throwing freaking lasers. He has to, but he's doing it. 4:30. Man, what a quick first quarter so far. Past midfield for the Steelers. A flip, and that'll be about 2 yards. 2 yards for Pittsburgh. 2nd down and 8. Get about a 1st down, you still, I think you're in field goal range at least. Get a 1st down. Rodgers, 2 backs behind him. Jonnu Smith on the motion. Throws to Jonnu. That'll be about 3rd and 2. 3:38. Goes out of bounds. 3rd down and 2. Jonnu Smith had the reception there. 3:33. They start winding the clock. I'm fine with that. 3:25. 3rd and 2. Rodgers takes the snap. Gainwell blocking. Caught! DK! First down. Past the 20-yard line. DK Metcalf with the reception. 1st and 10. DK Metcalf gets past, catches it, boom! With the turn, with the jump on a CUDA. And that'll be a first down for the Steelers. Field goal range for sure. 1st and 10, 2:43 to go. Very quick first quarter. Rodgers throws short to DK. DK to the 10, to the 1st. He has at least got to the 10. DK Metcalf. Worst case scenario is about 2nd and 1 there for the Steelers. But they're in the red zone and they're very close to the goal line. Very good drive here from the Steelers. Their first drive was bad, but this drive's been pretty good. DK Metcalf is that dude. 13 receptions, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, 13 per reception. 1st and goal from the 7. So they just gave it to him. I mean, before all that, I think he would have got it. Rodgers throws short. Gainwell down to the 1. 2nd down and goal. Gainwell down to the 1. 1:26 to go the quarter, and there's grass on his helmet. 2nd and goal. Gainwell put his head down, and he's down to the 1. Maybe the 2, depending on where the nose of the ball was. Scored a touchdown on 7 of 8 red zone drives this season. The Steelers have 48.2%. Their problem was never their quarterback this year. The problem was the quarterback last year. Russell Wilson's washed up. Hands off to Gainwell. Gainwell, 1-yard touchdown run. Kenneth Gainwell. Touchdown Steelers. There ain't no question that he did. Kenneth Gainwell, touchdown. 1-yard touchdown run. Boz, extra point is good. 3-7. That should be it for the first quarter, but just in case. Boz gets the extra point, and it's 3-7. The Steelers had the lead. And they probably will take the lead to the second quarter. Boz, functional offense. The problem wasn't the offense, not this year. The Steelers' problem this year is not the offense, it's the defense. They have not had a good quarterback in 8 years until now. Ben Roethlisberger, the corpse of Ben Roethlisberger from like 2018 to 2020, 2021, no good. Kenny Pickett, no good. Mason Rudolph, no good. Mitch Trubisky, no good. Justin Fields is probably the best of them all before Aaron Rodgers, and they still didn't want to play him. Russell Wilson was probably the worst. Ask the Giants how that one's going. Russell Wilson finally, who would have known? Maybe you should sit his ass. Maybe you should bench him. At least Brian Dable did. But the Steelers were in the playoffs. He shouldn't have been playing. Especially not the playoffs. Well, yeah, when you lose 5 in a row during the stretch, maybe your ass should be benched. It's a long time coming. I hate the Giants, but you know what? Good job, New York. You benched Russell Wilson. Mike Tomlin never had the balls. Well, he had the balls to cut him. He didn't have the balls to bench him and save his season. But then again, I guess what? Mike Tomlin lives in his fears. But hey, at least you have Aaron Rodgers now. So guess what? The offense isn't the problem. But poetic justice, now your defense sucks ass. Well, I don't know why it's poetic justice. I don't want it to be the way, but I don't want it to be that way. I have a beautiful reason to root for the Steelers. I don't want it to be that way. But it's funny that your defense has been amazing for the whole time you're there, and especially when you have a quarterback who can't play for 8 years, and you finally have a quarterback, and your defense sucks. What the hell? What the hell? Ain't that funny? Vikings return the kick. One, it's a Steelers thing to have a very good defense. That's one. Second of all, it's a Steelers thing to have a good defense, right? It is. That's their DNA. Second of all, now you finally have a quarterback, and now your defense, you could say, but Highsmith and Joey Porter Jr. are out. At least we finally got one of our players back. Okay, sure. But once they're all back, they better be better. Mason bounces off, and that'll be about a yard. Man, they're just going to feed Mason, aren't they? I don't blame them. He's doing well. 37 seconds left the first quarter. 2nd and 9. They're lucky they basically tripped him. Kevin O'Connell is 4-0, or the Vikings are 4-0 international games between multiple coaches. I don't exactly know how that's a Kevin O'Connell stat, but okay. Whatever. 2nd and 9, 8 seconds left the first quarter. Throw, caught. First down, Jordan Addison makes the catch. Gets more yards as he's wrapped up. That's the end of the first quarter. First down for the Vikings to end it, and the Steelers have the lead. I agree. And hell, if you didn't want Jackson Dart to be thrown to the wolves, you still could have started Jameis Winston. You know what? I hope the Giants trade Jameis Winston to Cleveland. Cincinnati. My bad. Cincinnati. My bad. They both wear orange and black. Or orange and brown to black. Similar color schemes. Lots of orange in Ohio. The orange is the problem, and they're both in Ohio. Who cares? I fit right in rooting for the Steelers, don't I? With my hatred of Baltimore and disregard for the Ohio teams, I fit right in, don't I? Well, besides Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. Who doesn't love Joe Burrow, though? And that's how we know you're a bandwagoner. I've always been a fan of Joe Burrow when he played for LSU. I mean, listen to my damn accent. I'm no LSU fan. Well, I mean, if LSU's doing well, State ain't. I'm going to root for LSU. I have no problem with LSU. I like seeing LSU do well, as long as it's not at the. Well, is it ever? Is it ever a problem with State? Like, are we the problem? Are they ruining us? No, they're not. So it's fine. I'm fine with it. Maybe baseball, but not football. That's what we're talking about right now. LSU. I still am a big fan of Joe Burrow. Like, I'll admit that right now. I don't know if I'll ever be able to buy a Joe Burrow Cincinnati Bengals jersey. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that. Because if I do, I might catch some hell. But I just wanted one in my collection, you know? I got a dirty look. I don't know. I don't know if I'd get a dirty look from Beautiful Reason, but somebody around them I might get a dirty look from. Be like, why do you have a Joe Burrow jersey? You bandwagon the Steelers, but you have a Joe Burrow jersey? I'm like, I love Joe Burrow. What? Hey, at least the good news is for you, the good news is the Bengals won't put a team around him. If he's healthy, he's healthy. If they don't have a team around him, when he's hurt, he's hurt. He's the most unlucky quarterback this side of Andrew Luck. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. Throw him forward. You know, it is sad, though. I got to say, it is sad. Joe Burrow is the most unlucky quarterback. Like, if he's healthy, they have not built a team around him besides Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. If he's not healthy, he's injured. Like, he's unlucky. I don't care. Man, he should have won that Super Bowl when he had the chance. I hate the Rams. I hate the Rams. Not that it made much difference. 2nd and 5. That is 3rd, and they lose some yardage there. 14-18. But enough about that. Man, I mean, I wanted Joe to win that Super Bowl when he was in it. He needed to, it turns out. His legacy is going to be defined by the fact he should have won that damn Super Bowl. He was so close. He might be John Elway soon. I don't know. Either way. Could be worse. Could be Carson Wentz. And that'll be a delay a game. False start on the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to get pushed back even further. Might as well be the same thing. 13-42, 3rd down. Yeah, no, I could totally see Joe Burrow being the new John Elway. The question is, does he win it with the Bengals or does he leave? But then again, the question with leaving is, honestly, though, I don't know. Maybe that's going to be a sack. 4th down. 4th down. Steelers force the 4th down, and they'll force a punt. So 1 bad drive per team offensively. 1 point-scoring drive. I don't know if I'd call a field goal a good drive, but, you know. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Well, okay, I know. Either way. I can hear it, but I don't know what that was all about. (12-28), the Steelers get the ball back. Steelers have the lead, and they've got the ball back. I think the Argos might be cooked again. So, by the way, speaking of gridiron football, no, we will not be covering the Grey Cup this year. If you were asking. So we'll find out. But the Steelers get the ball back early 2nd quarter. It's the 12-28 of the 2nd quarter. Wright punts it away. down by Felton at the 20. So the Steelers will start at the 20. We'll see how the second half goes, or the second quarter. But it's been a quick first half so far, I got to say. Yeah, but here's the thing about Kevin O'Connell. Here's the thing about Kevin O'Connell. He makes shit quarterbacks look like Pro Bowlers. Carson Wentz is a shit quarterback. Well, besides the one time he almost got the MVP before he blew out his knee. But ever since then, he's looked like shit. Sam Darnold, up until last year, looked like shit. Now he looks good. You could say, but he's still good. He's playing for the Seahawks, and he still looks good. I didn't say he was a dumbass. I'm sure he remembers what he learned last year that made him good. I never said he was a dumbass. I never said he was Jamarcus Russell. I'm sure Sam Darnold remembered what he was taught, and he still looks pretty damn good because of it. Darnold's actually decent now, but before last year, he was not. I'm saying Kevin O'Connell made him decent. Last year, better than, but he still looks pretty good now. Caught, first down, DK, past midfield, DK Metcalf. What a shot, DK, DK, all the way, touchdown. Touchdown, Steelers. One play, touchdown. DK Metcalf. Whoa, boy. 13-3, 10-point lead. Will Boz get the extra point? Good throw from Aaron Rodgers, and DK Metcalf was on his way. Whoa, boy. DK Metcalf. However long that was, extra point, 3-14, a 80-yard touchdown. Three to 14, the Steelers have the lead. 12-16 left. Why is this game so early? It's in Dublin, Ireland. Dublin, Ireland. And it's a Steelers game. That's why I'm covering it. But it's one of those international games. They're playing in Dublin, Ireland, and the Steelers are winning. But the Rooney family has Irish roots, so that's probably why they lobbied for this one. I'm glad, though. I love it. Steelers playing in Ireland. I wish I was there. I wish I was there. I do have Irish blood. And I do have a beautiful reason to root for the Steelers. I mean, I wish I was there. With that reason. Instead of watching this game on TV. I wish. I wish. Well, they're playing. And here's the funny part. They're actually playing at a Gaelic football stadium. Which is funny. Croke Park. That's what they're playing. I don't know. NFL isn't really violent anymore, though. Not like it was back in like the 2010s and the 2000s. They're playing at a Gaelic football stadium, though. Oh, good. Lovely. I'll take that. Man, speaking of Pittsburgh teams, man, it was awesome to see Marc-Andre Fleury have his moment yesterday. And he won that game. They ran out the clock. Crosby was on the ice with him. It's a good way to go out. You know what? I kind of love that. I won't even lie. I love that. Marc-Andre Fleury getting to play a preseason game to run the clock out and, have that last moment. Forget a one-day contract. That's awesome. But then again, the Penguins kind of let Yager have that moment. Not play, but, warm up with the guys and all that. So, you'll take it. The Penguins do right by their guys, I got to say. Like, I don't see a problem with it, you know? Like, if you still got it to play one more game to honor the team that you played for a long time, yeah, preseason game doesn't hurt, you know? It doesn't hurt. Or you could be the Leafs and you re-sign James Reimer to a PTO to basically be the backup until Joseph Woll gets back. The kickoff is taken, and the Vikings will return it to the 20 to the 25. Hammered them. Yes, I'm very happy James Reimer's back with the Leafs. Why do you ask? And I've always rooted for James Reimer. $12-11. I can't wait to see Steve square. Well, he already kind of did square that circle of the video. I won't lie. And there's a tackle right at the line. Oh, they're starting to get to Mason. Good. Yeah, the Vikings might not even come back. If they get to Mason, that changes this game. Steelers with an 11-point lead. Once they get to Mason, because Mason was cooking for that first quarter, I got to say, he was cooking. But if they start getting to him, 2nd and 10. But, you know, 11:34. Empty set. 1 second left on the play clock. Wentz snaps it. Caught. And that'll be tackled at the 30. Third down. 3rd down and 5. And I'm very happy to see it. And I hope he gets to play some games in the regular season, which that's probably what's going to happen. Joseph Woll, the only thing that makes me wonder is what's going on with Joseph Woll. Like, I'm worried, or at least for his family or whatever's going on there. I pray for Joseph Woll. I hope everything, if they sign a backup being James Reimer on a PTO, you know. The Leafs like to have a veteran third goalie, even though, I mean, they have Akhtiamov and Hildeby. They like to have that third goalie being a experienced player. So this is always probably going to happen. But with Joseph Woll going on a leave of absence, I guess Reimer's going to be the backup for a while. He'll get some games, of course, unless Woll gets back quicker than we expect. He'll get some games. Be nice to see it. But I'm guessing it's going to be Stoller starter, Reimer the backup for at least the first month, probably. Month or two. That's my guess. It's my guess. For 3rd down and 5 for the Vikings. 10:47 to go. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Wentz throws, caught. What a throw. Perfect throw. Justin Jefferson. 1st and 10. You're Adam Thielen. Oh, Adam Thielen. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. $19 and $18 look pretty similar with their font set, I won't lie. Yeah, Thielen can still make those catches. That was either way. It's early. And Wentz, what are you doing? TJ Watt gets him. 2nd down, but I think he got some third stringer to Menor Fowler, the AHL. Capo's our veteran. He's actually looked decent in preseason. Not sure Isiah likes to hear that. He was with the Avs, not good. Goalies are weird. And if they're like third goalies and backups, it's even weirder. So I think it is just it's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the beast, you know? I think it is what it is. Throw. Jefferson. Now that's Jefferson. He gets put down, 3rd down and 2. 9-14. It's the nature of the beast. I mean, goalies, it's a thing, especially in hockey. Even in football, it kind of is, but especially in hockey, it's a thing. Like if you're a second, third goalie, you might be bad in one place, you might be better in another, and also it depends. Him playing at AHL level to mentor one of their younger goalies. Okay. And that's going to be stopped. 4th down. Let's see where they spot it. Is that going to be a 4th down? Who knows? The way football is, they'll probably go for it anyway. 3rd down and 1. Let's see where they spot the ball. And let's see where the electronic chains. But I'm going to guess Dobesh and Montembeau is going to be the main 2, no problem. Fowler is their 3rd goalie and AHL goalie. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting somebody? Virtual measurement, short by 9 inches. So, 4th and 9 inches. They're going to go for it. Oh, there we go. Laval Rocket. Boom. 4th and 1. Hands it off. That's a 1st down. Mason. Easy as you like. Current season. Well, that doesn't help. Hunter Jones. Fowler, Gaudreau. Okay. Primo, okay. Caden Primo, that's, yeah, okay, yeah. 2nd and 7. What happened to him then? Oh, he got traded to Carolina. Okay, yep, that's what happened. Okay. So that's why it's just Fowler. Oh, okay. That's why it's Fowler and Capo. Okay, got it. Hands it off. No, he didn't get tackled, but he hit behind the line. 3rd down. He got traded to Carolina. Primo. Because, yeah, here's the thing. I was really high on Primo. I thought he was really good. I'm like, but I guess they're even higher on Fowler, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. But I guess they got to be very high on Fowler to get rid of Primo to Carolina. When I'm going to guess Primo is going to be back up to Freddie Anderson, probably. Caught, picked by the Steelers. That was picked off, and the Steelers have the ball. Elliott with a pick. Deshaun Elliott with a pick. And the Steelers have the ball. The Vikings are starting to fall apart. Not that we're complaining. Not that I'm complaining. 6:41. Deshaun Elliott with a pick. back from injury. He gets the pick. Steelers get the ball with 5:50 to go. 5:58 to go. Cal Raleigh is 2 homers short of tying Aaron Judge's But Steelers had the ball. But we're waiting to see how this next drive goes. Steelers are pretty solid after that first drive. Other than that, here we go, 5:50. Steelers lead by 11 points and have the ball after the pick by Deshaun Elliott. Aaron Rodgers. See how this drive goes. Throws caught by Washington. About to a 3rd and 2. Snapped, handoff to Gainwell. First down. 5 minutes to go the second quarter in the first half. 1st and 10. Pittsburgh lead. And they can make it an even bigger lead if they get a first down. Steelers defense, week 1 and 2, they allowed 31.5 points per game, 6.3 yards per play. They allowed 14 points last week to the Patriots. Caused 5 turnovers. And Pittsburgh's had a pretty damn even better game this week. Maybe the defense is better than I thought. Maybe those first 2 weeks were just horrible. As long as you win, doesn't matter. 3-1 record doesn't matter as long as you win. No, it doesn't matter, I guess. Or at least it won't until January. Either way. Didn't like the Steelers. It was a horrible game early, like last year or something. That they shouldn't have. Not that means anything, but, you know, to an NFC opponent too. Wasn't it that Dallas game? Hands it off. I don't know if you call October early, but middle of the season. Gainwell, first down. 3rd down and 1. I don't know what you'd call it. frankly. 416, 3rd and 1. DK Metcalf, 4 receptions, 122 yards, 1 touchdown. Man, he's had his moments today. DK. When he gets the ball, it's meaningful, I got to say. 13 receptions throughout 4 weeks before that touchdown? Now about 15 probably? When he gets the ball, it means something. 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns now, 349. And that'll be a first down for Gainwell. Up the middle, boom. Halfback power, baby. Halfback power. What you know about halfback power? That's what they ran. What you know about halfback power? Flag on the play. Let's see what the flag was. He pushed Skoronek. I think that should be unsportsmanlike. Yeah, Tomlin's happy, so it must be on the Vikings. Defense. Unnecessary roughness on the defense. Personal foul. Yeah, you don't push a guy. That gave him 15 yards, you dumbass. 1st and 10. Seeley scored a free kick, a goal. Obiku scored this weekend also. Good for them, yeah. Montreal beat the hell out of Charlotte. I saw that. The score line. Seeley scoring. Owuzu scored too. We still need to finish above Montreal, I swear to God. But, hey, good for him. He got his goals. And Obiku scored as well. Probably should have scored against Chelsea as well, but at least he scored this weekend. Aaron Rodgers flips it, and that's going to be about a yard for the Steelers. 2nd down and 9. Johnson gets about a yard. Meanwhile, TFC draw. At least it was Miami, though. It was a pretty good draw. I mean, when you're eliminated from playoff contention and you draw Miami at home, that's a pretty good draw. It's not a win, but it's not a loss, and you made Miami look stupid. Frankly, if Miami lost to Toronto, they actually look better probably. Now they look like frauds. The offense that's their meal ticket couldn't score 2 goals on Toronto FC. Your poverty. Rodgers gets the throw off, incomplete. 3rd and 9. 2:34. If Miami draw, if Miami lost, they could just blame their defense for being shit like they always are and just swept it under the rug. Them drawing makes them look worse. So you know what? I'll take it. 7 straight draws, and we made Miami look stupid. They could have just swept it under the rug if they lost. See? Now you know you're fraudulent. So that's the hilarious part. 4 seconds left on the play clock. Aaron Rodgers hikes it, gets it on the final second. Rodgers steps up in the pocket. Rodgers is going to run. He'll get a 1st down. Fumble, but the Steelers still have it. 1st down, Steelers. Rodgers coughed up the ball, and it went to his offensive lineman, and they still get a 1st down. Agreed. We've been saying Miami's defense has been shit all year. What's new? Rodgers actually ran for a 1st down, stepping up in the pocket, fumbled the ball, and his offensive lineman was right there, Jones, to pick it up and get a couple more yards and keep the 1st down. Aaron Rodgers, okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. 2-minute warning of the 2nd quarter. That was a play. That was a good play. I don't think Aaron Rodgers meant for that to happen, but it worked just fine. He's a damn good player. I will say this. The Steelers are looking good today. We will be back next Sunday morning for another Formula One Grand Prix, though. It feels like every week now I'm doing something this early, so maybe that's part of the reason why I did this game live, besides the beautiful reason I bandwagoned the Steelers. And the fact this game's so early, I'm watching it anyway. Maybe I'm just used to being up early doing something live, so there you go. I think this is doing better in a Formula One Grand Prix, though, but we won't talk about that. Either way, well, the review actually did well last week. The stream didn't, but the review did. So do with that what you will. Do with that what you will. But either way, Singapore next week, 7 a.m. Central. Yeah. So Steelers look to be leading at the half. Let's see if they get another touchdown. 2-minute warning. Under the 2-minute warning. Really quick first half, though. Like, it's just over an hour. Just over an hour. And I think the kickoff happened after 8:30, even though they said 8:30. So maybe it's just about an hour. Quick game so far. Quick game. Not that I'm complaining. That Mississippi State game took way too long, Now, this Steelers game is going by like a flash. Going by a GIF, a flash, It really is. I mean, That's that State game. I know it went to overtime, but it was a plodding game anyway. Aaron Rodgers said thank you to Jones, too, for covering his ass. I like Aaron. I like Aaron Rodgers. I can't believe I'm saying this. If you told me 5 years ago that I would like Aaron Rodgers more than I do Brett Favre, 20-year-old me would have called you crazy. Washington. Be like, what? Well, hell, even 15, 18-year-old me. If you told me any time before 2023 that I would like Aaron Rodgers more than Brett Favre, he'd be like, you're crazy. Now, of course, Brett Favre, the Mississippi welfare scandal came out in 23. I wouldn't say I liked Aaron Rodgers in 23, but my opinion of Brett Favre was so low after that I guess it was just higher by default. But now that Aaron Rodgers is on the Steelers, I really like him. Aaron Rodgers, and he's sacked. He's sacked. 1:49 left in the second quarter. Third down. So I guess it was by default, but now it isn't. Aaron Rodgers is a cool dude. I always thought Brett Favre was the better quarterback until he is from the state of Mississippi. That's what makes it even more screwed. He stole from the welfare of his own state when he's already rich. Punk. And I mean, we're talking about Mississippi here. They need that stuff. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's not beat around the bush. Mississippi needs it. Mississippi needs that welfare. The people of Mississippi need that welfare. Let's not beat around the bush. I love my state. I love my home state, but we can be totally real here. 3rd and 15. At the 20-yard line, 3rd and 15. Can the Steelers get a 1st and goal at the 5-yard line? Or will they be going for a field goal try with Boswell? Gainwell. Well, at least they're at the 10, so that makes it an easier field goal. Boswell's going to come out to kick the field goal to make it 17-3 with 1:41 to go in the second quarter, and the Vikings will get a chance to answer. 4th down, Boswell. Chris Boswell to come in to take the field goal. We will take a short break at halftime. We'll talk about the first half. Boswell, 5 for 5 this year on field goals. He has a 30-yard field goal attempt. This should be a chip shot for Boz. This should be a chip shot for Boz. Snap, kick, blocked. Blocked by the Vikings. Honestly, I ain't even blaming Boz there. I ain't even blaming him there. What a block by the Vikings. The Vikings blocked the kick. That was a perfect jump. Like, I ain't even mad. That was a perfect jump by the Vikings. 138. I'm blaming Boz there. I'm blaming him there. Let's see if the Steelers fans are blaming Boz. I don't see it. Boz. Watch the Vikings go down and score a touchdown. So Minnesota will start the 9. The block kicks will continue until morale improves. How many block kicks is that this year? Seriously. That's like the 30th one. There's been like 30 block kicks this year. That's exaggerating, but still, there's been like last week there were 3. There were at least 3 block kicks last week. Like, it feels like there's been so many block kicks this year. That's just the NFL. If you add college, I feel like there's been a good amount there as well. So, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't think I've seen this many block kicks ever. It's crazy. I don't even think that's on Boz. I don't think that's on Boz. I don't think that's on him. 138 starting at the 9-yard line for the Vikings. They will have a 4-point deficit if they score a touchdown on this drive. And they will start with the ball in the 3rd quarter. And that's a good throw. A touchdown for the Vikings would be amazing. They would be down 4, starting with the ball at the 3rd quarter. 126. Flag on the play. See who that's on. 116. The clock's still running, so that's not. Roughing the passer defense. 15-yard penalty. 1st down. Really? Really? Oh, he hit him in the face mask. Okay, yeah, no, that's roughing. So 15 yards from the end of the play. 115, Steelers lead by 11. They will only be leading by 4 if there's a touchdown on this drive, and they might have just made it more likely. Idiotic play. Idiotic play. The ball wasn't even in his hands at that point. Idiotic play. 132 in the second quarter. 3 penalties, 26 yards. Steelers 115 was that roughing penalty. I don't know what they were thinking, really. I don't know. Five seconds left on the play clock. Wentz throws, and it's high and incomplete. Scott cannot make the catch. Through the hands. 128. 2nd and 10. Well, Patrick Queen was chasing, but there would have been a chance to make that catch and find some yards after if he did. But through the hands. Through the back, over the back shoulder, through the hands. You got to do better than that. You really do. 2nd and 10. 128 left in the second quarter. 5 seconds left of the play clock. Snap taken. Wentz. That's a catch at midfield. Justin Jefferson gets to midfield. 119. You know, 108. Wentz steps, has room to throw, gets out of the pocket, throws, caught. 2nd down. Wilson pushes him out of bounds, but that is complete. 59 seconds, 2nd and 3. Okay. 7 in the box. They blitz Wentz. That was on the play against Jefferson. Best case scenario, the Steelers hold them to a field goal. And they would still have a 1-point lead if the Vikings were to score a touchdown to start the third, if they held them to a field goal here. And Wentz throws, and it's caught! Justin Jefferson goes down. 49 seconds in open field. Justin Jefferson goes down in open field. 1st and 10. Vikings scoring a touchdown here would be amazing for their game, considering they start the third quarter with the ball. And brings him down behind the line. Patrick Queen brings him down behind the line. 22 seconds. 2nd down, and there is a player. Don't tell me Justin Jefferson's hurt. That would be the worst. Is Justin Jefferson hurt? No. He lost his footing on the grass, but I wonder. We don't need Jay Jettis to be hurt. We don't. No Jettis injury, please. No, we don't. No. We don't need to see that. No, that would suck. 24 seconds. Minnesota's used their timeout. 2nd and 12. Yeah, that's going to be stupid if you need to kick the field goal. That would really be stupid if you need to kick the field goal. To use your timeout now. 24 seconds, 2nd and 12. Throws. Incomplete. 20 seconds. Hawkinson doesn't get his hands to it. Or doesn't get his hands. Doesn't keep it in his hands. 20 seconds. 3rd and 12. Hawkinson. I guess the good news is if you put the ball down or you get tackled, you have time to make your change. The good news for Pittsburgh is it will be a rushed field goal if they don't allow a touchdown. And if they don't push somebody out of bounds. 20 seconds. Wentz takes the snap. Gets rushed. Throws a duck. Picked. Is it going to be an interception for Slay, or is that going to be out of bounds? 4th and 12, incomplete. 14 seconds to go. Slay caught the ball but did not stay in. Nope. But it's incomplete. But that was a duck. That was a duck by Wentz. Will Reichard to make it 6 for the Vikings. An 8-point deficit for the Vikings if this field goal is made. 33 yards for Will Reichard, the former Georgia kicker. 16 seconds. Flag on the play. Ramsey. Well, the only thing is that kick's going to be closer now. That will not give him a first down. Or I don't know. If it's on the Vikings, it goes back, but it will not be a first down either way. It will still be a field goal attempt. It's either going to be closer or further. Right. 28-yard field goal attempt. It's closer. It's closer for the Vikings. 16 yards or 16 seconds. Kick is good by Reichard. A 28-yard field goal. 6 points, 6-14. That'd probably be the last points of the half, but we're going to see. The Vikings will kick it off, and the Steelers will run out the 12 seconds, I'm sure. Minnesota will get the ball back. Of course, the Steelers would hope for a return, but other than that, you look at it. The Vikings points scored the final 2 of the first half, 18 points last year, which was the fewest in the NFL. 26 so far this season. That is the most in the NFL in the final 2 of the first half, which is crazy. There's only 3 today, but they got a lot of them in the bulk of last week, though. Kickoff, 12 seconds. The Steelers, very likely it's a return, or this game, it's a return or this first half's over. It's either or. How we doing? Steelers leading by 8. Minnesota will get the ball to start the second half. So even if they scored a touchdown, Pittsburgh would still be up by a point before they even touch the ball again. Meaningfully, I should say. Unless they return this ball here. But other than that, I would say meaningfully. Gainwell goes down. 6 seconds. And, yeah, Tanner Tessman played for Dabo. Yeah, Tanner Tessman played for Dabo. Didn't you know that? Played for Dabo. Dabo. He played for Dabo. Dabo. Whatever. He played for Dabo. I guess the Europeans would say it the other way. I guess that was part of the joke. Dabo. Who cares? He sucks. Dabo, I mean. I hope he's okay. That last second where he looked like he was pulled up with an injury, that wasn't good. At least that's what it looked like to me. Nobody wants a Jay Jettis injury. Nobody does. Nobody does. Steelers seemed to have a pretty dominant first half. That could change in an absolute jiff. And Rodgers to kneel it, and that's the end of the half. Halftime, it is 6-14. Steelers lead. Before they meaningfully touch the ball again, they could still be up by a point. Unless they get the stop. But it's halftime. If the Steelers get the stop on the Vikings to start the second half, they'll be up by more. But if the Vikings were to score a touchdown to start the half, the Steelers would still be up a point. Yes. Yes. I believe he's that good. I don't think they wanted to start him this early, but Russell Wilson's washed up. I could have told you that. I mean, I have a beautiful reason to bandwagon the Steelers. I saw how bad Russell Wilson was last year. And I also saw how bad he was for the Broncos, but I didn't realize he was that bad until I watched him play for the Steelers last year, especially when they failed down the stretch. Russell Wilson is the worst. He's cooked. He was cooked last year. He's cooked now. At least Brian Daboll had the balls to bench Russell Wilson, unlike Mike Tomlin. The only balls Mike Tomlin had was to cut him. Well, no. Actually, no. The dude was a free agent. My bad. I guess the balls of it was wait for Aaron Rodgers to make his decision. Because it took 3 months? It was oh, Aaron Rodgers is going to sign for the Steelers. But then he waited 3 months to officially do it. And that was the balls. It's is Aaron Rodgers going to screw us over? And then we have nothing else to go for because Fields went to the Jets. I mean, I like what Rodgers is doing for the Steelers. I'm not going to say I don't. Justin Fields was actually good, though. And this year he's still good. Well, at least when he was healthy, he was good. So, maybe the Steelers shouldn't have let go of him either. I don't know. Good half for the Steelers. Not bad. Yeah, I think they've done well. But we'll talk about that. We'll take a short break during the half. We'll talk about how it went. And we move. Sit tight, be back. It is 6-14 at the half for the Steelers lead. 14. Well, 8-point lead, 6-14. Sit tight, be back. We're doing good. We're back for the half. Steelers leading by 8 at the half. I'm going for the Steelers because I have a reason to. You're new here, so welcome. I see Minnesota, so you must be going for the Vikings. They've been doing. Wentz was okay, but for me, that Mason kid, that first drive. Now, of course, hasn't really been the same since, but Mason, that first drive, he still had some good runs besides that, but put the ball in his hands. There's a way the Vikings could take. There's a way the Vikings could take the lead. Put the ball back in the hands of Mason. And Justin Jefferson, if he's okay, because I hope he wasn't hurt at the end of the half there. Nobody needs to see that. Justin Jefferson, damn good player. Let's hope he's healthy. And let's hope that him just getting tripped up that's what it was. Nothing more than anything than that. Wentz, I was about to say, there was a moment in this game where I was like, he might be better than McCarthy. Well, I don't know what it is about Kevin O'Connell. I really don't. Kevin O'Connell knows how to make crap quarterbacks amazing. I don't know what it is about him. Kirk Cousins. Well, Kirk Cousins made an NFC title game without Kevin O'Connell. Yeah, but there were some bad years that he had in between that and that last year before his Achilles injury. Darnold, Wentz. I'd say McCarthy's better than all three on the merits, but, either way. Steelers, Aaron Rodgers having a damn good game. Steelers, besides that first drive, they've done pretty well offensively. DK Metcalf been amazing. Gainwell's done well. He's gained well. And Boswell, man, that blocked field goal is going to bite them in the ass, isn't it? Yeah, it probably is. It ain't Mississippi State, but if this was Mississippi State, I would definitely know that blocked field goal would bite us in the ass. But this is the Steelers. But Boswell having a blocked field goal doesn't seem like that's going to end well. Steelers will have a point lead. If the Vikings score a touchdown to start the second half, the Steelers have a point lead, that's the good news. The bad news is 1 point. Could have been 4. Again, blocked field goal matters, eh? But at least when the Steelers touch the ball meaningfully, the worst case scenario is they still have a point lead. Best case is still 8 points. Actual most likely case? Well, I don't know. Steelers defense hadn't done so bad, but we'll see about the halftime adjustments. Rodgers 12 for 14, 165 yards, touchdown. Wentz 16 for 20, 154 yards, pick. So, they're about right there. It's just the Steelers, their luck has been good. The Vikings' luck has not. Well, I don't know. Or they could go for 2. Yeah, that's true. Or, if the Vikings score a touchdown, I'm sure they'll probably go for 2. Damn. That sucks. Yeah, they didn't get kneecapped for the halftime show in Ireland. Yeah, that sucks. They should have done that. The NFL should have got kneecap for the halftime show in Ireland. Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. That would have been awesome. Come on now. That would have been awesome. I don't even know who that guy was. I've never heard of him before. Who they had at halftime. I've heard of kneecap. Well, I think they're awesome, but I've heard of them, which is rare for me because I live under a football painted rock. I guess the answer would now be sports, but this is the other football, so, fine. Either way, I guess the football painted rock joke works here too. Just a different football. Oh, Aston Villa finally won a game and scored some goals at the Prem. Good job. Yeah, it's been a shit show for them, yeah. Second half starts in 8 minutes. Are we sure about that? Sure about that? Second half starts. Second half's about to start. Yeah, I thought, that clock wasn't right. Here we go. And the Vikings to get the ball, and they return it, and they start running from the 10. And there's a hit. 14:54. Let's see if the Steelers can step up. Miles Price takes it to the 32 off the kickoff. "30 minutes to go in this game. First and 10, 14:54. Wentz, what the hell was he doing? That was a 2nd and 8. That was better than what they should have got out of it. Mason. He's a good player. He's very good. But that was... I'm not so sure what they were trying to do there. Proud of you, man. Proud of you. I'm happy for you. Y'all, if you're here, I posted the link to his video in my community tab, but go check out Isiah's first video on his channel, the Duncan Fall Menu Review. It was a good video. I watched the whole thing last night after he put it out. I actually put it on my community tab before I even watched it, but it's a good video. And I will say, that cereal milk espresso or whatever it was, that actually looks really good. I'm not really a coffee guy, but I'd give that a try. That cereal milk espresso, I'd give that a try. I would. I'm not really a coffee guy, but I'd give that a try. And Wentz goes down, sacked on 3rd down. There's a flag on the play. But I'm proud of you, man. Proud of you, man. 13:35. Flag on the play. Holding on the offense. Penalties declined. 4th down. The Vikings will have to punt the ball away, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have a really good defensive start to the 3rd quarter in the 2nd half. Well, that's good for me, because I'm not a coffee guy. Sounds like that's something that's right up my alley. Right to punt the ball away. Caught. Oh, that was not a good return from Austin, but $13.09. Steelers, pretty dominant so far. We need to see how the offense is. We keep going. Steelers leading by 8. Can they add on to their lead? You would hope so. So we wait for this 2nd half to continue. 3rd quarter, early 3rd quarter. Steelers have the ball. 2.5 watch hours for first video. I mean, that's pretty good. Let me see some here. Hold on. Just okay, let's look at first 24 hours for my first video was 3.4. My first video had 3.4 watch hours in the first 24 hours. So I did better than you. I don't mean to. Either way. I mean, for a video, I'm trying to be nice. Don't take this the wrong way. For a video about Dunkin' Donuts fall menu, you think it would get more watch hours than a bowl game video. I'm not going to lie. Like, college football is popular, but, you know. I also would think there's a lot more people who'd be searching for Dunkin' Donuts fall menu review videos. So I don't know, actually, how good that is. If you actually put the context to it, I don't know how good that is. But I'm glad it's doing solidly. I'd say it's solid. It hadn't really been 24 hours yet. Well, I mean, that video is... I mean, that was the first 24 hours on my first video from, what, 6 years ago? 7 years ago almost? But again, Your video hadn't been out 24 hours yet, so that is true. I would hope it kicks on, though. I mean, in theory, like, I won't even lie. Like, I think there's a lot more people on YouTube who would probably rather watch a video about a fall menu at Dunkin' Donuts and search for it than a college football video. Review video. So, I'd say your watch time is solid, but honestly, contextually, I'm a little bit shocked. That feels a little bit low. Fair enough. That's fair. And that's punted away by the Steelers, 11:06. Oh, he got him at the knees. What a tackle. That's a flag on the play. That was a clean tackle. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Unless he fair caught it. Yeah, fair enough. Stallers is going to sign a contract extension with the Leafs. Nice. I'm glad. I mean, I don't exactly know how that's a dirty tackle. He hammered him at the knees. Did he fair catch it? I don't like the call. Blocking the back for Minnesota. Oh, okay, it's not on the Steelers. I was like, how is that? How is that a foul? How? Like, no. On the Steelers? No. It's like, no, that makes no sense. You know what? But I kind of agree. Like, if you got that video out a bit earlier in the month, I think it probably would have done a bit better. I think you have a point there. But still, good. I think it'll do better. But again, sometimes you just got to keep posting. Sometimes I think you were solid. I think all things considered, it's solid. It's not been 24 hours yet. You might still have more watch hours than I did in my first 24 hours on my first video. So, right now, but I haven't been 24 hours yet. But I think it'll probably be very close. Within 0.5 hours or whatever, which is fine. But I mean, contextually, I'm sure that holiday video should do better. So, yeah, just keep on pushing. I mean, when you do more lifestyle stuff as well, I would think that's easier to get clicks. So, I mean, some of my vlogs have done pretty damn good, I would say. Especially when it's like a curveball as well. But either way, I think lifestyle videos, I think that's an easier niche to kind of carve out. So, I mean, I'll be rooting for you. Carson Wentz starts at the 10. Vikings starts at 10, 11:03 left in the third quarter. Wentz, hand in the face, and Addison does not get the catch. Yeah. Not exactly for me, but yeah, for you, yeah. Like, there's a lot of creators. I will say there's a lot of creators that complain about watch hours and impressions during the holiday season. I do, because that's when things start. Yeah, there's finals, but more for me, January's the shit show. I mean, I'm going to be real. January is not a pretty month. Like, and I always chalk January up. I call that holiday season because my birthday and New Year's. But I chalk January up to a loss. Like, the only reason I do the content I do in January is to keep my name in the algorithm. I can't just be off for a full-on month and a half. I can't do it. So, I mean, I still take a 2-week break, but I don't think that's helpful either. But I need a break, a Christmas break. So, I think that doesn't help, but I'm more of a gridiron, or I should say I'm more of an association football guy, doing some hockey games and gridiron playoff. I think there will be some AFCON games in January this year, so that might be helpful. But look at years where there's more association football in January, then it's less of a wash. But, you know, like the Miami preseason tour, those will do fine because it's Miami. And yes, I'll do their preseason games again because I'm sure they'll show them, and those do fine. It's less of a wash. AFCON, that was pretty good. AFCON and Asian Cup, that was pretty good. I mean, World Cup qualifier January, when they had the games in January for the 22 World Cup, that did well. But those were really meaningful games. But I'd say that January 24 and January 25 probably been my best Januaries, all things considered. But January isn't bad. Okay, so maybe I'm not the only one. 2nd and 1, 9:01. Wentz throws, caught by the Vikings. Mason gets the first down. But I mean, I count, if January does well, that's great. But I go into January realizing it's probably a wash. You know, he was amazing. Man of the match. Like, I just go into January calling it a wash. Like, I like doing the NFL playoff videos. I think it's cool. I'm not saying it ain't. But if you notice how my January videos are, it's like, if this does well, I mean, it has some quality to it, but we really are just fucking around. I mean, it's not, like, when it comes to the January streams, like, those, I'm not saying they get chaotic, but there's an energy of like, yeah, if this does well, it does well, and there's a professionalism to it, but if it doesn't, you know, we're having fun. Like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. You know, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I make the content to keep my name in the algorithm for when the Champions Cup starts and when stuff starts heating up in the early part of the year, which normally works, but January is more like I'm warming up, you know? Like, it has the energy of like I'm warming up. I come back from a little break. I'm warming up. I'm not really worried about the numbers. Ish. If they do well, great. If our numbers are better than expected, great. Even with the football, association football games we have in January, you know, whether that be Miami's preseason or AFCON or Asian Cup or those games we do, or the hockey games. Like, it's just has the January videos. I don't know if you're, for me at least, streams and videos. I don't know about you, but I think you would agree that it feels like the energy of like, I don't think it ever changes, but it feels like there's an energy of warming up. It's like, we're having fun. If this does good, it does good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we're having fun. You know? If we have problems in February and March, then we got problems. But, you know, I agree with that. I think he's hurt. I think he's hurt. There are some Vikings fans who say McCarthy shouldn't be starting when he comes back, though, which I think that's asinine. But Wentz has done okay, but it's Carson Wentz. Like, I know Kevin O'Connell's good at making quarterbacks who look like shit look like they're good or really good. I know that's his thing. But McCarthy on paper is better than Wentz and Darnold on the merits. Wentz. Boom! Oh, okay, he did get sacked at midfield. Fumble! Fumble on the play! Vikings cover it up. That ball bounced freaking miles. Holy Lord. 2nd and 10. No loss on the play, but that ball bounced for miles. I don't think McCarthy would do that. Speaking of, I don't think he would do that. Either way. Did Carson Wentz throw that on the ground? I don't exactly. Yeah, I would agree with that. That's kind of like how most years go. Wentz sacked. 3rd down. Steelers are all over him like Watt on Rice right now. You love to see it. Oh, my. Ball will be snapped at midfield. Do not let them convert. Watt gets in his face. Benton makes the sack. 3rd and 16 at midfield. 3 seconds left on the play clock. Wentz throws. Picked off by Watt. Tipped. Ricocheted into the hands of TJ Watt. Carson Wentz has a man, but he plays for the other team. TJ Watt with a pick. You love to see it. What's with all these ricocheted picks? Jesus, man. That's like 3 in the past 48 hours. Or 36. G5 Joey with 2 deflected picks yesterday, even though State lost. And Carson Wentz with 1. Hopefully the Steelers don't start selling like State did. Jesus. But he plays for the other team. Man, that was a horrible drive for Carson Wentz. Right at the end there. Hilarious. But he plays for the other team. Steelers are pretty dominant. I don't think the score totally tells you. I think it does lag a little bit. It does lag a little bit. Normally for me, like when my videos really blow up, like my views on like the YouTube, like the counter on the YouTube page, and even like not real time or like lower than what's real time. So that's normal. I guess I didn't think it would lag this early, but it's normally when the stuff really blows up for me where it lags. But, especially for a video. I mean, not really for a stream. Like those in real time are pretty decent counts. But, when my videos blow up, like the reviews, Steelers have the ball. Blue Jays play at 2:07. Second and 1. Steelers have the ball, 4:38 left in the third quarter. Can we get some points in the third quarter? And Steelers, Gainwell pushes to the 20. I mean, they should get some points. I mean, do you see where they are on the field? To the 20-yard line. Steelers 1st and 10 in the red zone. First and 10, 3:55 to go, third quarter. 15, 16, 17, 18 minutes left in this game. Flip it to Gainwell. Gainwell gets 5. Second down and 5, 6. Why? My question, why did the Eagles let him go? Like, seriously, why? I know they have Saquon, but Gainwell and Saquon would have been freaking amazing. Well, it was amazing. Why not keep going? I mean, I'm glad the Steelers have him because Gainwell and Jaylen Warren might be a similar dynamic once Jaylen Warren is healthy. But I think Gainwell might have just earned the starting spot. I won't lie. And that'll be a touchdown. Nope. Tackled at the 5. They tripped him. All they could do was trip him. 3 minutes to go. Gainwell, man. Like, why would the Eagles let him go? Like, I don't understand it. Like, I know you have Saquon, but why not have both? I mean, I know Saquon is a freaking superhero, but Gainwell's damn good too. Are you not seeing how good Gainwell's playing? And that's a touchdown for Gainwell. Pittsburgh touchdown. Are you a Pittsburgh fan or do you have Caleb Johnson on your fantasy team? Gainwell is the freaking player of the game right now. 1. Second of all, he ain't going to get carries when Jaylen Warren's healthy. Jaylen Warren might be the freaking backup running back at this point. Gainwell's that dude. Yeah, so why do you care? Unless you're a Steelers fan. Hell, I'm bandwagoning the Steelers because I have a beautiful reason to, and frankly, I don't care. Feed Gainwell. Touchdown. I don't care. Feed Gainwell. 4-yard touchdown run. Boss got the extra point. Six points to 20. 6-20. Steelers lead. 4-yard touchdown run for Gainwell. Boswell with the extra point. Boz. I don't. Yes, you should. Even if Jaylen Warren comes back, you should. Because Gainwell. Oh. Well. This dude, I don't know why the Eagles got rid of him. I don't. 21. Oh, it's 6-21. Six to 21, the extra point. 6-21. Extra point was made. The Steelers are going to easily win this game. Gainwell, why would they get rid of him though? Like, why? Why would the Eagles get rid of him? I don't understand it. Why? Dude, You had Saquon and Gainwell, and you proceed to get rid of Gainwell for what? That's the Eagles loss and the Steelers gain. Oh, he only had his highest rushing total with the Eagles was 364. Well, he's a third down back. Dude already has 57 yards today because of Jaylen Warren's injury. He's doubled his yards total. Why get rid of him? But you know what? I won't complain. 2 touchdowns. Player of the game, 57 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5.2 per carry. No Jaylen Warren. He might be better than Jaylen Warren. Shit, you might as well. But you were the one saying start Jaylen Warren over Harris last year. I was. They didn't have Gainwell. I was right in the moment. I'm not. Doesn't mean I'm wrong now, or doesn't mean I was wrong then. I was right then. I'm also right now. And the Steelers get to the 40. What a return by Price. 2:14 left the third quarter. There's a flag on the play. Price makes a return. Holding. Return team. So foul from the spot of the foul. Like, Jaylen Warren was better than Najee Harris last year. That is true. Now, Gainwell is better than Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren has had, when he was healthy, he had some okay games. Gainwell, dude, this is an amazing game from him. It's Gainwell and DK, really, while Pittsburgh's dominating. I mean, their defense has been pretty good. Rodgers has done his job, but, you know. Steelers' offense have done their job. But Gainwell looks freaking like he wanted to make a point today. And that might be PI. I'm surprised it wasn't. 2nd and 10. Like, he wanted to make a point today. Like, he doesn't want to be a third down back anymore. You know? And you know what? He might just be that good. I thought Gainwell was always talented, but he might be more than a third down back. Besides, I mean, why would you want to rush Jaylen Warren right back to being a starter, you know, since you have Gainwell playing so well? Let them fight for it. Let them fight for it. If you earn it, you earn it. What can I say? Patrick Queen tackles at the line. That'll be 3rd and 9. I didn't hear that. That's shocking, actually. That's shocking. Like, Starbucks is doing that bad. They're going to close 150 stores. I mean, they have like damn near 2 stores in every city, but you know, like that's crazy. Like that's unexpected. That's like Walmart saying they're closing stores. You know, that's just crazy. You wouldn't think. That's nothing to say about the quality of Starbucks. That's just crazy. 128. I only really know what I've heard. There's a tackle, and Wentz is sacked. That's going to be a very good field position off the punt for the Steelers. 1:15 left the third quarter. Apparently 400 stores in America, North America total by month's end. They're going to close 400 stores. What? Oh, okay. With Canada and Mexico, I guess. Well, I mean, Canada, that's understandable. Tim Hortons. Vikings will punt it away. And Austin, 35 seconds to go. Damn. 35 seconds left, third quarter. I mean, Jamar Chase is still going to have his moments, even with Browning as the quarterback. He'll still probably get 100 yards or so. Just because Browning's the quarterback doesn't mean he won't get his yards. They'll just lose by 30. Wait, hold on. Did I? I still pick Cincinnati to beat Denver, yeah. Denver's, I don't know, man. I don't like what I'm seeing from Denver this year, though. I really don't. Bo Nix seems to be having a sophomore slump. Like, it sucks. I thought Denver was back. I thought the Broncos were back. Turns out, I don't know. Have Denver on a 9-leg. I got Cincinnati beating them on Monday. Here's the thing. Bo Nix is still a good quarterback, but it seems to me he's having a sophomore slump, and the whole team is slumping around him as well. I'm not saying Denver sucks. I'm just saying last year they've regressed from last year, which they were already on the freaking knife edge anyway. When it came to the playoffs. So that makes it look worse. So it seems to me that the Indianapolis Colts are becoming what the Broncos. Offense can't get it together. Riley Moss is struggling. Also, the linebackers are sucking without Greenlaw. The fact we kept Singleton was always a bad idea because Mans got outplayed by Barton last year. 1st and 10, 35 seconds left. Well, there you hear it. 1st and 10. Rodgers flips it. Oh, there we go. Johnson gets 9 yards. There you go. 9 yards for Johnson on a pitch. There we go. Yeah, but, I mean, I will say, if there's any coach that could get it together from a struggling moment like this, it's Sean Payton. Sean Payton knows how to fix things. I will give them that. I wish Sean Payton was still coaching the Saints. They need him. Well, they need to do a lot. Fire Loomis as well. End of the 3rd quarter. 6-21. One more quarter. The Steelers are winning. We'll review this game once it's over. Also, we're undisciplined. Well, yeah, that's uncharacteristic for a Sean Payton team. I will say that much. That is uncharacteristic. Never mind 10-leg lines, Chargers, Bills, Packers, Falcons, Ravens, Jags, Patriots, Jets, Broncos. Let me see how if my predictions are correct, let's see where you'll screw it up. I got Detroit winning. Yep, I got Detroit winning. I got the Chargers beating the Giants. I got the Bills beating the Saints. That's easy. I got Packers beating Dallas. Easy. Atlanta. I got Washington beating Atlanta. Really. Atlanta's kind of been questionable this year. I won't lie. Washington, I still think they're pretty good. What were you doing? So that's your punt. Okay. Baltimore versus Kansas City. I got Baltimore beating Kansas City. I think Kansas City's actually shit. I just think Baltimore's lost to some really good teams. I think there's a difference. Jags. I got the Jags beating the Niners. I think the Jags, they're good this year. 49ers. I think Mac Jones is still playing tomorrow or playing today. I think he is. Patriots, I got them beating the Panthers, but that's because the Panthers are ass this year. I don't think that says much about the Patriots. I don't. Jets, I have the Jets losing to the Dolphins. If Justin Fields is playing, you might get that one, though. Denver, I have Denver losing to the Bengals. So, Jets, Broncos and Falcons. Those are the ones I think you're the most possibly screwed up on. Really? What? Why? Falcons over the Commanders? Why? No. I still think the Dolphins, if Justin Fields plays for the Jets, they might win tomorrow. If it's Tyrod Taylor, I still think Tua's better. I still think, yeah, that's all the Falcons have. I mean, Penix, he's good, but it's not the same this year. He's having a sophomore slump too. 15 minutes to go, fourth quarter, 2nd and 1 for the Steelers. They throw it to DK. DK gets the first down. $14.50. Jaden Daniels is out and Terry McLaurin. Yeah, but the Commanders are still a good team with Marcus Mariota. Like, I know Jaden Daniels is out, but they're still good with Mariota. And they still play a similar style of football. It's not like they had to change their whole playbook just to have Mariota start. That's the problem with some backups. Sometimes you have to change your whole playbook to have the backup start, or like lower the playbook, or like have a very more simple playbook, which that just doesn't work. Marcus Mariota he's still serviceable. He's still serviceable. Hold on. Washington last week, I think. Did I have them win? I had them beat Vegas and they won with Mariota, so I don't think Atlanta's that much better than the Raiders. I don't. Not right now, at least. Yeah, that's bad. If Beverly Hills Starbucks is closing, that's bad. Makes you wonder. 14-11. Makes you wonder. $14-11. Calvin Austin was injured during the play after the 8-yard pass. Damn, that's not good. But you know what? I think the Steelers are starting to figure it out. I think we were complaining about nothing. Good to hear. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're closing 400 in North America, yeah, that's bad. For Starbucks, who you would think is too big to fail, agreed. I mean, Here we go. 14-11. 2nd and 2 for the Steelers. 21-6. Steelers are winning. Yeah, but people, I think Canada it's different. But, well, Tim Hortons has dropped a lot in quality recently, though. Ever since it got bought by private equity and not Canadian owners anymore. But, you know, that's true. 13-42. Hands it off. And that'll be a first down for the Steelers. But yeah, I mean, Tim Hortons has fallen off in quality over the past, 5 or so years? Especially since they sold to private equity and not a Canadian owner. So do that what you will. Dutch Bros, 7 Brew, local coffee shops have been popping off more, even with the rich white girls. I've seen so many ads for local coffee shops and barely any for Starbucks. Well, frankly, to be clear, I've barely ever seen a Starbucks ad. I'll be real. Like, I've barely seen a Starbucks commercial. I can't remember one off the top of my head. Like, I have a lot of nostalgia. I have a lot of nostalgia for commercials and older commercials. I can't remember a Starbucks commercial off the top of my head. I can't. And I don't think I've seen one recently. So, you know, I've seen Dunkin'. I've seen Timmy's. I don't think I've ever seen a Starbucks commercial. I think the only thing I see about Starbucks is their damn cups. That's about the most they get for advertisement. Oh, and the one time they had to change their Christmas cups. People were complaining about that. Hands off. That'll be to the 15. 3rd down. I think Aaron Rodgers was just trying to be nice to his teammates. I'm not saying Jaylen Warren sucks, but Gainwell is looking just as good as Jaylen Warren would if Jaylen Warren was healthy. So, that's all that is. Yep, leaked info. Playing forward, 16 of 18, 3rd and 6, 11-28. Timeout. But yeah, I think there's a lot of leaked info in general in the fast food industry for menu items, especially Starbucks. But with that being said, yeah, he did. Or at least he shared it with him. But he was right to do that. Because Sean was the man of the match. Third and 6, 11:25 to go in the 4th quarter. Steelers back from the timeout. Takes a snap. Throws. Incomplete. Miller tried to throw to Scotty Miller. And that was nowhere near. 4th and 6. Field goal try for Boswell. Does he make it this time? And there's the 33-yard attempt. That is good. Chris Boswell, 33-yard field goal, 6-24. 6 of 24. Balls. So, Fetty plays in 3 minutes. Been trying my best to keep up with him in Bologna. Oh. Well, okay. Yeah, I'm watching this, then the Jays. I'm watching this, reviewing this, then watching the Jays. There you go. So, do that what you will. There is 11:18 left. $11:18 to go in the fourth quarter. The Steelers leading by 18 points. Hit him. 18-point lead for the Steelers with 11 minutes to go. Getting closer and closer to a win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We will review this game, and then tomorrow I will have MLB playoff predictions. And that's caught. Addison out. Second down. Second and 4. Hands it off. Mason gets the first down. And the clock will run to, by the time the play's made, under 10 minutes. Easy as you like, really. 10:22. Wentz throws, caught, tackled Hawkinson. Second down and 5. Second down and 5. Or second down and 4. 10 minutes to go. Single digits left in this game. Justin Jefferson has not had any receptions in the second half. No. Wow. Anybody who has Jay Jettis in fantasy is they're fiending right now. Hayward might be hurt. $10 minutes. There'll be a review for this game after it's over, and then we'll be back tomorrow for MLB playoff predictions. Yep, shit's getting real. Caught to the 35, first down. Yeah, shit's getting real, ain't it? 9 minutes to go. The scoreline might look a little bit closer than it should, I won't lie, in this game if the Vikings score a touchdown. But the Steelers have been honestly dominant, defensively and offensively. I think they might have finally figured it out. Wentz throws, and the ball falls. .908, 2nd and 10. .908, 2nd and 10. Hawkinson will get the first down. Well, no, I don't like it. The military should be defensive, not offensive. But the powers that be love a regime change. They love chaos. Hawkinson, hit. 2nd down. Steelers lead 24-6. .820. .806. Wentz gets chased, and Oliver drops it. It's 3rd down and 4. Newcastle winning 1-0. Well, good for them. Good for them. So, .756, 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. 7:56 to go. 7:56 to go. 3rd and 4. Can the Steelers make the stop and send it to a field goal try for the Vikings? Reichert is 6 points already. Could he have to go for a 9-point? Wentz throws, caught, toe tap, touchdown for the Vikings. Touchdown, Vikings. It's a touchdown for Xavier Scott. Xavier Scott catches the ball. Wentz pushes up in the pocket, throws it to an open man, into the end zone, toe tap, and caught. Both his feet were in the end zone. That should count. Unless they're saying he toe tapped, he had it, unless they're saying he didn't have possession, which I wouldn't understand that. I think he had possession. That he was in. Both feet down inside the end zone. That's a touchdown. They're going to go for 2. They're going to go for 2. And caught! 2-point conversion is good. It is good. Naylor catches the 2-point conversion. And it's 14-24, 10-point game. (14-24), 10-point game. Steelers still lead, but now it's a 10-point game, which I think that's a very positive score for the Vikings. I don't think they should be 10 points behind. I think the Steelers should be absolutely bodying them. A 10-point deficit makes it look better when they really don't deserve to have a 10-point deficit, but okay. You know, I don't. But either way. We have 7:50 to go. 7 minutes 50 to go. Well, we'll see how the rest of the quarter goes, but here we go. Steelers will get the ball back. Hopefully they score something. $7:50 to go. 14-24. Minnesota had a good 2-point conversion. Another deep end zone catch that they were still in bounds for. First touchdown for the Vikings of the day. Of course, they had 2 field goals. 10-point game. Steelers need to clutch up. It ain't over yet. 7:46. It ain't over yet. They've been pretty damn dominant, and frankly, 10 points is a little bit. I was like, I think that's a little bit not exactly the story of the game. I don't think the scoreline tells you how close this game has been. I don't think this really tells you how close the game has been, or how not close it has, I should say. I think the score is a little bit flattering to the Vikings, but 7:46. Sometimes just got to execute, and they did. Gainwell with a first down into midfield. First down for the Steelers. $7:30 to go. Rodgers hands it off. Throws. Gainwell caught. Clock keeps running. 2nd down and 2. Gained some out of that play that almost was blown up. 2nd and 4. Snapped, handoff, and that'll be first down Yeah, I heard about that. I hate that for him. More like third string quarterback, but, I hate that for him. It's crazy. So we're going to see how the second 5:38. Third and 1. And it's getting chippy. Getting chippy. Huh. I've never seen that happen before, so that's weird. That's weird. I've never seen that happen before for me, so that's weird. 5:29, 14-24. There's a flag on the play. Let's see who it's on. Quarterback sneak. And Rodgers was just standing there. They basically did a tush push without Rodgers. He's just standing there pointing. First down. Just watching them get the first down. And then shit just goes off the rails. 5:29, 1st and 10, Steelers. Okay, so it's on the Vikings. 5:29 to go. Oh, he slapped DK. He slapped him. He slapped DK. Why you gonna slap a guy in a helmet? I don't know where to call that punk move or not. I don't know. 5:28. The clock runs now. The Steelers are 5 minutes away from a win, and they might score another touchdown, which I'd be very happy about. 24-yard line. 1st and 10, 5:10. Handed off Gainwell. Gainwell gets to the 20, to the 10. First down and goal. Steelers. 5 minutes to go. There you go. Better. Only because the Steelers actually have a good offense and their defense is starting to wake up. Rodgers has won 3 games out of his first 4. I don't think he did that with the Jets. I wouldn't say it was his fault. But he's definitely better this year because the team's better. I still think he was good himself. He still had good counting stats, but it's not like he was washed. Like, I don't know, Russell Wilson. Hands off to Gainwell. And he gets hit behind the line. 4:20 to go. Rodgers has a better team to work with. I would agree with that, yeah. Steelers winning by 10. 2nd and goal. Vikings take the timeout. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen that before, though. I still... I mean, that's... The video has its watch time. I guess it hasn't caught up yet. Oh, okay. I see what the channel analytics say, too. Yeah, no, like, the thing about channel analytics, especially the overview at the top of the screen, that resets at 4 o'clock in the morning every day. So your overview is a every 28 days thing. At 4 a.m., give or take, that the new day gets added to the last 28 days, and then the day that ends up being out of the last 28 days gets taken away. So that should be the right number by 4 a.m. So by the time you wake up, whatever you see by the time you go to sleep probably should be right. Now, of course, there's going to be a lag to it. I thought you were talking about the video itself, but that 28 days thing. So one's the last 28 days, and that is 3rd down and goal. They get to the 2-yard line, 4:13 to go. So, 4th and goal. Steelers are going to go for it. Y'all better not let this bite you in the ass. But yeah. So it should be. Or it should be wherever you go to sleep. That's what it should be by the time you wake up. So if you're at like 3 hours of watch time, then your last 28 days should say 3 hours. So yeah, that's normal. I didn't think that's what you were talking about was the last 28 days thing. Yeah, no, that's normal. That's normal. That's normal. But I would think it's just 4 a.m. your time zone instead of mine. Something like that. That's because I have a shitty sleep schedule. That's why I know that. I have an absolute horrible sleep schedule. That's why I know that. So do that what you will. You're welcome. Hey, it came in handy for once. 4th and goal from the 3-yard line. Steelers hand it off to Gainwell, and he's going to. Is he going to get in? I don't think so. 4:09. Steelers went for it and turnover on downs, but Minnesota will start at the yes. Unless you're like chasing monetization, If you're chasing partner program, I mean, you got to look at the watch time. 1,000 hours of watch time in what, 1 year, I think? Something like that. Something like that. First and 10 for the Vikings. Central American Cup. 1st and 10, starting at the 1-yard line for the Vikings. They hand it off. They're going to get a couple. 4:04. Brought down. 4 minutes to go. They will have 4,000 hours in a year. Yeah, my bad. 4,000 hours in a year. Yeah. Second and 4. Wentz. Like once you're chasing that 4,000 hours, then I mean you look at it from there. But other than that, of course you have to have 1,000 subs too. Tuesday. I'll be live for Central American Cup and Caribbean Cup on Tuesday and Thursday. Wednesday we're gonna be live for the Can Champ Final and 1K subs. Yeah, so that hadn't changed. So Tuesday, Thursday we'll have CONCACAF games live a review. Wednesday I'll be live for the Can Champ Final. Player down for the Steelers. 1st and 10 for Minnesota. 3:29. Good news is, even if the Vikings were to score a touchdown, I think the Steelers sapped enough time, and they're starting the Vikings from so far back that Steelers should still win this game. But if this game's close, it's definitely not the story of the game. Like, if this game ends up being a 3-point game or something, that's not the story. I feel like that'd be a very flattering score line for Minnesota if they lost by 3, to be real. I feel like that'd be very flattering. Well, that also, everything that's in that overview, like views, subscribers, watch time, and when you get monetized, earnings, all that changes at 4 a.m. So the overview is behind. is the point. Like that last 28 days overview is everything in there. Subscribers, views, it's behind. It changes at 4 a.m. So that's when the analytics for each day, what's the word? Caught! Addison! He rumbling to the 20, and he's down at the 2. 3:12 to go. Jordan Addison with an amazing play there. Yeah, it is. It is. 3:02. Yeah, it is. 4 a.m. No, 4 a.m. Central Time. I don't know if it's 4 a.m. every time zone, so it may be 3 a.m. for you. I don't know. Tackle behind the line, 2nd and goal. It might be 2 a.m. for you or 3 a.m. for you. And then whenever you go to California, it'd be 2 a.m. Maybe that's the way it is. Maybe it's just 4 a.m. for me. I don't remember. Well, whenever I was in Eastern Time, I was actually sleeping, which is... So as far as I know, I couldn't tell you. It might just be 5 a.m. Eastern, 4 Central, 3 Mountain, 2 Pacific. It might be. I don't know. So might not be as bad for you. I haven't been to Pacific and Mountain Time to really tell. Incomplete. Naylor doesn't catch it. 3rd down and goal. 2:16. So she don't want to be there. She don't want to be in WWE. She was right not to resign. She doesn't love wrestling. She wanted to use it for her notoriety. Maybe you shouldn't sign people out of freaking college sports that don't give a shit about wrestling. Maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. Sounds to me like that makes a lot of sense. 3rd and goal, 2:16. Wentz throws it. Incomplete. 4th down. 4th down. 4th down. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a goal line stand. And, well, Minnesota might still go for it. 13 seconds to the 2-minute warning. Steelers stand tall. Naylor doesn't catch it. And they're going to go for it, the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to go for it. Wentz takes the snap. Play fake. Wentz throws. Caught! Naylor finally gets the touchdown. And Minnesota scores. And it's a 3-point game. Jalen Naylor scores. Steelers stopped them until then. 2 yards. And they're going to kick it. And they're going to kick it. Reichard, kick, extra point is good. 21-24. Steelers had the ball at the 2-minute warning. Steelers had the ball at the 2-minute warning. Steelers have it at the 2-minute warning. 21-24. This score line does not tell you the story of the game fully. That's why you don't go for it on 4th down with two yards to go. Now you just make yourself look like you suck. And here we go. Kickoff. Steelers got to run this clock out. Go on a pretty time-intensive drive and at least kick a field goal. They got 2 timeouts. Minnesota's only got 1 timeout. Minnesota are 3 points away from tying the game. If they stop the Steelers, this might be a disaster. Last successful onside kick for Minnesota is December 24th, 2016, Christmas Eve against the Packers in 2016. And it looks to me they're going to go onside kick. Why would you say that if you weren't? Onside kick for the Vikings. That would also be a disaster. 2:08. It is a rare moment, and then the Steelers cover it. Wilson gets the onside kick. The Steelers have the ball. I guess the thing about it is if the Steelers don't get it, Steelers timeout. .208. Looks to me they're going to do it again, actually. They took a timeout for the kick. What were you doing, man? I guess they weren't ready. Now they are going to go onside, and if you don't recover this one, you kind of kicked your own self in the ass. You did cover the onside kick. This time you ain't because you just played yourself. And they do this time. Wilson covers it again. 2:07. Steelers have the ball in midfield. You almost played yourself. Luckily you didn't. Almost, though. .207. First and 10. 2 minutes to go. 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. The A's will wear a jersey with Sacramento on it in 2026. Good. I respect it. I respect it. 2-minute warning, 2nd and 6 for the Steelers. I'm glad. I'm glad the Oakland Sacramento Athletics will wear a jersey with Sacramento on it next year. They should. They should. Yellow jersey with Sacramento on the front. I like it. Like, if you're going to be there, why not? Yellow with green lettering, I like it. I like it. Yeah, that's probably right. Feels like we're about to get news that the Vegas stadium hit a snag and delayed 2 years. So this is Fisher trying to reconcile any little bit of goodwill with the cities being forced to stay in longer than anticipated. At least that's how low the bar is for that guy, probably. Oh, we're not the Sacramento A's. Fucking dumbasses. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Second and 6. 2 minutes to go for the Steelers. Can they get any more points, or could they just run this damn clock out? Either way, I won't complain. Just win. Gainwell gets wide, keeps going, gains some yards. Third down, 152. Somebody must have taken the timeout. 3rd and 1. Minnesota took their last timeout. Just in case, I guess they stopped them on 4th down. Okay. Steelers got a first down. I think they've won the game, which is the good news. Steelers got a first down. They won the game, pretty much, I would say. 3rd and 1, 152. Steelers got a first down. They pretty much won the game. Now the question is, do they choose to keep on running it and get a chance to score some points, or they just kneel it out? Frankly, just win. Just don't freaking throw a pick. Rodgers, they're going to take a timeout of their own. Steelers last timeout. 3rd and 1, 152. Third and 1, 152. Steelers to basically ice the game. 3rd and 1. Handoff. And that's just short. It's just short. It's just short. 4th down. What will the Steelers do? Will the Steelers go for it to completely ice the game, or will they punt the ball away? 4th and 1. I mean, if you're the Steelers, you might as well ice it. I mean, they already went for it on 4th down and goal, and they got owned for it. Steelers are going to go for it. Delay a game. 5-yard penalty, 108. $108 to go. 1 minute to go. Minnesota. I mean, you're basically in field goal range. 4th and 6. Will they send out the punter or Boz? And they're just going to punt it. All right. Minnesota has a minute to get to field goal range to kick a game-tying field goal and send this to overtime. Waitman to kick the ball away. Waitman with a punt, and they send it. Touchback. 101. 1 minute to go. No timeouts for either team. That's honestly the good news about this. 101. The good news about this is there's no timeouts for either team. The bad news is Minnesota's offense has done pretty well recently. Steelers got to step up and keep them out of field goal range. 102. They got to get about 30 yards in 1 minute to get to field goal range. 1st and 10. Wentz. Throws. And whoa, it's picked. It's picked. It's picked by the Steelers. Game. That's game. Pierre with the game-winning pick. What a perfect play. Steelers will be able to kneel it out. With a minute to go, Carson Wentz throws a pick to lose the game. I don't think he ripped that out of his hands. Pierre had it. That's Pierre's. Yeah, he picked it. I don't exactly know what they're looking at. He got it. If this doesn't stand as an interception, this feels like that fumble return that didn't stay as a fumble return touchdown. This is a pick. I don't see how it isn't. Call it. And he's still, I think there's no way that's not a pick. I'm sorry. There's no way it's not. Call it. He gets possession of it as he's getting pushed out. They're going to overturn this and make it incomplete. 2nd and 10, it's incomplete. It's incomplete again. Incomplete pass, just like the freaking punt return. Just like the punt return. Just like the punt return in the first quarter. Bullshit. And the Vikings are going to get a game-time field goal because of it. Just wait. Throws. Incomplete. 3rd down. Flag on the play. Ref ball. Ref ball. I feel like this is ref ball. Holding defense. 5-yard play. 5-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down. Steelers are choking. 5-yard penalty. 5-yard penalty. Holding. 54 seconds. "13 career game-winning drives in 4th quarter and overtime for Carson Wentz." "54 seconds. Wentz is running. Sacked. And there's a flag on the play. Jesus Christ. 48 seconds. Offside, Pittsburgh. First and 5. Watt got a jump offside. First and 5 to 30. Throws, caught, pushed out, 43 yards, or 43 seconds. 1st and 10. They need about, 2 more 1st downs? Will Reichard. Oh, he hit from the 50 in week 3. Hit from the 50 in week 3, so that's not good. That means probably, another 1st down? 43 seconds. probably 2 more first downs. 43 seconds to go. Wentz. Wentz is going to be sacked. No, he throws it away. 37 seconds. Herbig got to him. 1st and 10. He did get away. He did throw it away. He did throw it away. Intentional grounding on Minnesota. Good. Intentional grounding on Minnesota. Good. That pushes them back. That's helpful. 27 seconds with a 10-second runoff. Second and 26. Back to the 22-yard line. 28 seconds. Intentional grounding. That's the right call. Agreed. 15-yard penalty. Pushed him back. Wentz throws. Caught. Hammered down. Hawkinson at the 20. 15 seconds. Spiked it. 14. 3rd and 15. One last throw. One last throw for the Vikings. One last play. 3rd down. Or now it's 4th down. 4th down and 15. With 14 seconds to go. Off the spike. They're either going to turn it over on downs or get a 1st down. Delay a game. Delay a game. So now it's 4th and 17. 4th and 17 now. Fourth and 18. Takes the snap. Wentz. Throws. Caught. It's tipped. Turnover on downs. 8 seconds to go. Rodgers can kneel it out. The Steelers will win the football game. It was tougher than it should have been, but they get it done. Jesus Christ. 8 seconds. Game over. Steelers get it done. The score doesn't really explain the game, though, I gotta say. The score line really doesn't explain the game. And they kneel it out. 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's final. Pittsburgh wins. They win 21-24. And honestly, this game was much more dominant than it looks on the score line, to be real. They did fall asleep and they kind of kicked themselves in the own ass a couple of times, but whatever. Steelers win. They win. Beautiful. With that being said, if you liked this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribe. Send your chats on live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlists. Share some with family. Share this with your friends and family, all that great stuff. I will see you within the hour for the review of this game. And then tomorrow we'll have the MLB playoff predictions, MLB postseason predictions on Monday afternoon. So, yeah. Because the Blue Jays are in no matter what, so we will predict them, even if they win the division or not. With that being said, I will see you within the hour. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you.